Hey guys, we have a tiny greenhouse and we wanted to show you and give you basically a big tour of our tiny greenhouse. So that's what this video is going to be about. The next video that we are posting is going to be about actually planting the seeds and getting them germinated. So enjoy.
All right, so this is our greenhouse in all its glory. I'm going to go over all the steps with you. So this spot on the side of our little house, we actually live on a storage facility. We own a storage facility and we live on the house that's on the property. The man we bought it from built it all over a 13-year span. He built it all on the weekends. His mother-in-law needed a place to stay, so he built her a house on here. After the mother-in-law passed, he rented out the house, and then we purchased it 2019. What in the world am I talking about? So yeah, that's where we're currently at the moment. So the concrete was all shifted. He had some metal posts where I guess he had a little gate back here, as you can see, this gate, and it's not level. Nothing about these posts are level. So what I did, I was laid off from my last job, and I needed something to do to keep my mind occupied in the first couple of weeks. So I decided I'm gonna build a lean-to to the side of the house. So what I did is I came out, got the metal post, and started scabbing on with actual wood. And I'm gonna walk you through all of it in just a minute. And we literally just made a greenhouse. So I was gonna do all clear all the way across, but my beautiful wife wanted a room where she could go and just get away from everything. And I knew if I put a completely clear spot on here, it's gonna be warm. It's gonna be incredibly warm. So I decided to compromise, because that's what marriage is, it's compromising. And so I alternated. And the cool thing about it is I spent $0 on this. Almost $0. Maybe $100. There we go. Real realistic.
Brandon spent zero, Kirsten spent the money.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. So interesting, when you own a storage facility, you see all kinds, all walks of life. We had a guy that was a hoarder. He had hoarded out 5 stalls. And these are large stalls, 3 tiers high with stuff. He was a carpenter and he just hoarded it out. Well, we had to clear it, once we evicted him, we had to clean it out. So I got a ton of wood out the deal. So I took all the wood and I made the rafters out of the wood. All right. Our business partner, who we own a food truck and a painting business with, they actually did a fence job. So they took down a privacy fence. So we went over there, scavenged the wood, came over here, put it up. These are the only boards that are new right here. These had to go around the actual metal post out there. So that's part of the money I spent. The other cool thing is we own a gutter business. So these are all salvage downspouts. The gutters themselves are pieces of gutter that I just put together. So let me get the camera and I'll show you how it works. What we did, we scabbed on to the actual boards. This has got a different type of roof on it, as you can see, right? So we scabbed onto it every
Your finger's not in the shot.
every joint, right? There we go. Every joint, put it up there, okay? And then from there, you see the post. So some of these posts I had to kind of make them fit. Definitely, if you can see down at the end, I had to make them fit to where it was level. And then put these 4x4s to give it the support, and then the lean-to of it there all the way down. From there, we actually had some tin that was in those storages, so I used that at pre-existing tin. And then I had to go purchase the clear tin. So we had, I think, 3 joints of that. The other cool thing is we actually put Wi-Fi out here. Yep, that's right. I put electricity out here. We tied everything together. We've got a light, and we've actually got Govee lights. The other thing is we put a fan because Kirsten likes to come out here and chill. Her favorite thing is when it starts raining, she likes to come outside and listen to the rain. We put the gutters in. Okay. So we start here, goes up, goes around, goes over, and then goes into it. And then there's a network of plumbing in there. So as you can see, it goes this direction, that direction. Well, the cool thing is when you turn it on, you hear it coming up. You can actually hear it making the sound, and it goes in. So what's happening is it's got piping all throughout this thing. So it's got PVC.
Yeah, there's a good shot of it right here.
Yeah, there you go. You can see the water coming up in it, and it only takes about 30 seconds. Well, the other cool thing is no water's lost. As you can see, all the water goes into the second spot. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. You can see the water spewing up down there. Let me turn it off because I got to actually plant today, so I ain't trying to walk around in the mud. So it's cool, all this, so no water's wasted. All the water from the top goes down here. And so we actually water that way to that way, and we plant bell peppers, banana peppers. This is where we plant cucumbers. This is the last 3 years we've been doing cucumbers. We do like 3 vines and we get anywhere from 50 to 100 cucumbers. No exaggeration. I mean, it just makes a buku of cucumbers here. I always leave 1 dandelion. We use dandelion to make like dandelion tea. It's very good for your heart. Anybody that's on blood thinners or heart related issues, that's the actual herbal cure for that. I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on that. But but yeah, we use that. Also, it attracts, the flowers actually attract a lot of bees. So the bees are going to come back here and pollinate and so forth. Down here is where we grew those tomatoes. I'll go into a little controversial subject real fast, and then I'll leave it alone. So in the 1700s, there was a thing called electroculture. This is where people would take copper rods, put it in the ground, and then they would go up in the air with it. Well, the air is statically charged. Most people don't know that, but you can actually draw electricity from the ether. The higher you get up, the more static you get in the air. So the premise behind it is you run copper under the ground. So there's copper buried under here, and it's tied into that rod right there. And then it's also in here, and it goes all the way up. And you get things like this that came up last year, huge aloe vera plants. We actually had a basil that I took out right before the freeze and gave it to a friend of mine. It completely taken over the whole place. It just makes these things grow incredibly well. So we tie into the piece of copper to the main copper and go all the way around. I'm sure people are going to be like, y'all are crazy, it does nothing. Hey, that's fine. It is a proven thing that people that put the copper rods in their garden get crazy yields, and the plants just grow astronomically large. It's very interesting. I wish we'd have known about it so much sooner. This is something I found out about 3 years ago, right before I built this. So I went ahead and tried it out, and well, I can tell you, I wish I'd have took pictures of the actual plants that were here because they were massive. All right, so back inside the gutters, right? You don't have to have a ton of room to be able to grow stuff. Now, does this thing sustain us with all the food that we grow throughout the year? Absolutely not. Not even close. However, you can grow a lot of stuff with it. In here, we grow a ton of herbs. And then out here is where we grew a ton of tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff like that. And again, we have a farm in Louisiana where we're going to be growing all the food that we're going to need throughout the year. But I'm going to start everything in here because this is a greenhouse. And in Louisiana and Texas, the winters are pretty mild. And we had a freeze, I think, 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
And then after that, it's been like 60 and 70. So I'm like, all right, we might as well get to start planting. So get the planting going. We're going to try to plant everything around St. Patrick's Day-ish. and go from there. But yeah, I mean, this just goes to show you use a little bit of initiative. I think that this is a fantastic design for anyone that has a small space and wants to grow some herbs or a few things. This is fantastic.
Explain what you use the aloe vera for.
Yeah, so the aloe vera it's a superfood. In the Hispanic culture, I mean, they eat it, they put it in drinks. It tastes like poo-poo to me, but it is fantastic for you. I use it, I don't know if you can see, like right now my hands are eat up, so I'm actually cutting this aloe vera. As you can see, like pieces I've cut on it, and I put that on it, and that seems to help tremendously. You have a bad cut, you got a rash, you got anything like that, that works fantastic. This is rosemary. This rosemary is a couple years old. It's fantastic. It survived several freezes now. I cook all the steaks with it. You know, I know you've probably seen some people put a rosemary on top with butter. I do that too. Over here, Kirsten's playing with some oregano from last year. We do thyme. Like you can see some of the stuff we've done. Thyme, things like that. You know, the freeze killed a lot of stuff. And before the freeze, we actually, one of the guys that works with us, I told him to bring some buckets, and we just dug up a lot of stuff so it didn't die. Don't forget, God loves you, we love you, and you matter.